Hi guys, on a new video. So today we'll take a look on another 1v1 matchup in Armies of Exigo, and this time it will be a game between me and Suvak. So let's unpause it. We are playing on the Inner Sanctum map, and as you can see I spawned in the bottom left corner with the green Fallen, and Suvak is in the top left corner with the blue Beast. He has a little bit different name in this game once again. Yeah, this was a few days after Makrozerk left our Discord server. Not sure where he's gonna come back, but hopefully one day yes. But for now Suvak is kinda substituting for him by taking half of his name and putting it behind the first half of his name. So now it's Suvkrozerk. But yeah, of course I have my normal name here. I'm going for a quick expansion. We are discussing some things here about a previous game where I tried to stop his instant expansion with Stinger Rush, but didn't really work. So that is this. But yeah, here I decided to go for immediate expansion, not even going for like a deformer into hive or anything. And I also made just one harvester, so this is the quickest dark fortress that you can make. You could potentially even skip the very first harvester, but that just doesn't really make any sense, because even without control form you have that 2 extra population for one more harvester. So staying on 3 probably doesn't really make any sense, but with 4 you can do it. Of course, more optimal way is to weave in some control forms in between that, even if you don't go for the deformer. But yeah, I wanted to have the second dark fortress as soon as possible so I can have double production of harvesters. I think the difference is not that high, and then you can maybe have a little bit more workers later. So yeah, we are going now for deformer and hive. Suvak opening here with stables into arena. First Boron is already here and he's scouting with a minion. He was lucky, he found me on the first position that he scouted, so immediately trying to harass my summoner here a little bit, but I'm already in the control form, so we are totally safe. Of course, he can keep hitting me there. You don't take any damage back when you are hitting the control form, only if it's a summoner in the normal summoner form. So yeah, this is not getting him any damage, but I have the auto heal here from the unholy regeneration, so as you can see he's actually dealing less damage than I'm taking. And here I brought one harvester to force him away, because I need to transfer him to this base anyways, so this was totally fine. We are bringing 2 more. Of course, yeah, if I would open with deformer into hive and then the dark fortress, I would already have more harvesters, and I would always bring 4 from my main base to the expansion. This is sooner, so now I bring only 3. We have 3 on gold on each base and 1 on wood here. Now we produce another one. Now we have control form, so we can produce even more, and we are making the lightning spire. Suvak, of course, skipping the totem doesn't really make sense for him. He sees an expansion, of course, so he's not under any pressure anytime soon. He's trying to catch up on the expansion. Of course, Beast has 20 seconds faster expansion, so I mean the build time, so yeah, he will catch up pretty quickly. He's also going for Goblin Hut, producing 1 warrior here, maybe for harassment, maybe for scouting, but outside of that probably just full goblins. And as you can see, he's also trying to already saturate this expansion a little bit. These guys will probably start returning before this is finished, but he will maybe keep them here. We'll see how well he will micromanage this. Now he should definitely delay them here, and he did that, so good job from him here, maximizing the resources. And he already has 4 minions here, bringing a 5th one from the main base, and he should start producing here as well in a second. Yeah. So now he's double producing minions as well. Right now I'm on 5 harvesters on gold here and 5 here as well, plus the 1 we have on wood and also 1 on gems here. We are still producing more harvesters. Here I'm delaying production now for a second, but I'm continuing it immediately. Here I scouted this warrior. We are making soul trap and incubator. You can definitely skip the soul trap. You don't really need it this early. As you can see, I'm also making more hives, so once you have full 2 bases, you can easily go for 5 hives. Before that you can go for 3 or 4, but definitely you don't really need the soul trap. You need the incubator, so you can start making spitters, and then maybe ideally also get wild cocoons, so you can get some hive guards or seekers if needed, and just overall be prepared for that as well. But soul trap is mainly now for gathering experience. We won't be going for the more advanced units anyways. You can of course try like a really quick void walkers or stalkers, or even like at nightmares or matriarchs or even avengers, but it's really hard from 2 bases. But overall, you usually want to spam as many units as you can from the hives, which is usually a few stingers in the beginning, then just pure spitters, and if the game allows it, you can try some guards. But overall, I think we want to first get our third base before we transfer to some more advanced units, so right now I think the soldier wasn't really needed. We are not getting any experience anyways because we are not fighting, so yeah, these two hives should have been definitely sooner from me. But already we have full harvesters on this base. Here we have also 2 on gems, 6 on gold, and actually 2 on wood. I think 2 on wood is fine for beginning if you have 2 bases. If you have 1 base, you can stay on 1 for a second, but eventually you want 2 anyways. And of course, during the game, you have to increase this number, yeah, to 3, 4, or maybe even 5 later. Now I also place down the Valkekun and also Dimension Gate, so we are trying to get some quick stalkers here. I think now I got... Actually, I didn't see the message, but I think it was improved metabolism or maybe grasp. I think improved metabolism for faster hive spitters. And now we are getting the tough carapace, which increases our armor of all units in the hive by 1, which is of course really strong against the goblins because they have splash damage. Here's Weapon Master, not getting any upgrades yet. Of course, he wants to get the damage upgrades to increase his splash damage. As you can see, he's really prepared for my air harassment. He has goblins in each of his bases, also in the front, so really prepared for everything. Getting the Revive Altar now, so he can unlock the superior boomerang upgrade in his goblin hut. Maybe he tried to expand, I don't know, the minions were out, but I pushed him. I also sent 1 scout here, so we are totally fine. Keeping the stingers in the back, just trying to micromanage here with the spitters. I really want to just shoot something, pull back. He's slower, so shouldn't be that big of a problem. He also has some melee units, so you can always get those, and also the goblin hunters are low HP, so you can snipe them out quite easily. He's going for the base now. I have the stinger there, but of course that might not be able to hold that. Trying to split here a little bit, but he has already lots of units. As you can see, when he has the speed boost and also bloodlust, he has already like 12 damage, yeah, which is insane. With the splash, it's almost like double. Yeah, so the stinger killed this minion. Now I was hitting the totem instead of the second minion, but doesn't really matter. Of course, he will bring his army and stop my attempt of stopping him. But in the meantime, I of course started making some guards. Unfortunately, I think now he will scout me, maybe with this harpy or something. We'll see. So of course he will kill this stinger, but I know that he's expanding, so we want to expand soon as well. I need to heal my ground army, so we can't really use this right now. But in the meantime, we are producing the guards, and I think this summoner is already going for the expansion here, yeah. I decided to actually expand between us, because I was really sure that I can hold it. And it will be a strategic position, and it's really close to my starting position, so I went for that. Unfortunately, yeah, this harpy now scouted my guards. I didn't really want to fly there with like only 4, so I decided to kill the harpy first. Or I think he will actually maybe escape. Yeah, he escaped. That was poor micromanagement from me. But of course now he's preparing for it, yeah, so he has already a totem here. He's moving his army there. He had the goblins here in the beginning, but then he pulled them back when I attacked on the ground, and now he pulled them once again to this location because he scouted me. So yeah, we stopped the totem here, killed 1 minion, but we didn't really achieve much. He's now getting Lizard Fortress, producing more goblins, now finally getting the superior boomerang, which is now stronger. Of course you need a revive altar now to get it, but it gives you extra damage, so it's actually even stronger now, and it also already a really good upgrade before. Here we have Beastchery, second totem actually here, and also 1 in the expansion. And this expo, he needs to definitely repair this, but he also has 2 totems, making even a 3rd one, so yeah, lots of protection against the air. So once again I try some small push, the stingers just kinda died there. I probably shouldn't even use them in the fight here, just when I have like 4 stingers, better to just spread them around the map for scouting. And map control, now he's dealing heavy damage. I have 1 stalk ready, but I didn't have the defile yet. Research, as you can see, is on 50%. But we still managed to save some low HP units. He's also low on units, but he has them spread more. Yeah, he has second army here, so it's actually still decent amount of units for him. As you can see, 7 population ahead. And now he started producing Striders, which means I need to get some Seekers to deal with that. Or Aerials or Deformers, yeah, multiple options, but right now I have only 2 dimension gains and both are producing Stalkers, so we don't really have too many options there. I have 2 towers here, so that should be kinda safe. Would be good to protect it from this side as well from melee units, but at least on this side we have control form, dimension gate and deformer, so protect it from 3 sides, and then we have the dark fortress on the left. So we both have 3 bases now. I'm a little bit under gathering there. I mean, gathering a little bit slower, but I'm also a little bit ahead in population. Yes, he had a little bit more resources. I think resources are basically balanced. He has definitely more gems, because Beast is not as heavy on gems as a race. Of course, Empire is even heavier than Fallen, but Fallen is still requiring lots of gems as well. He's sending another Harpy Scout, but I think he already saw this expansion before, so not like he would find anything new here. He could of course consider pushing here, but he doesn't really want to push into my towers, of course. He doesn't even have any trolls yet. He actually made the beast ready to create Manticore Riders because he saw the guards before. And also Dimension Gate, so we can definitely expect the Stalkers there or something just from the Dimension Gate. He's going for a 4th base, but it's right at the time when I decided to push him, so as you can see population is still basically exactly the same. My army is looking like this, yeah, so 3 Stalkers, actually 4. We have like, I don't know, 6, 7 guards, something like that, and then a decent army of Spitters. Yeah, something like 17 or something. So of course, important thing for me is to stop this. Kinda hard to split push from here. I could go around this, but it's a really big area, so I didn't really want to do that. I just needed to stop this. I'm trying to split push with the guards, but yeah, they died immediately to the splash damage. As you can see, it's constantly pulling back from the defiles and actually pushing my units into them, so this is a really effective way of playing this. He's also trying to confuse my Stalkers. He's using Strider here, of course threatening my Stalkers with the Manticores as well. I try to push into him, like between his units, so he's on 2 sides now, and of course he can still hit my army here, but he's split. I can hunt some goblins here, and as you can see we kinda killed most of his units. We are 50 population ahead now, so this was looking really good. But when I saw basically all the Striders here, I didn't have any reveals. There were also Warlocks, so soon he will probably get Poison Fog, and he was still bringing units from multiple sides. I didn't really want to push into this. Yeah, actually, maybe he's getting this before the Poison Fog. Not sure why Oreo already has it, but didn't use it for some reason. But yeah, I just decided to rather push back or pull back. I think this was maybe a mistake. Maybe it was winnable here. I'm not sure. If I would be just pumping more units out. Actually, I lost my rally points as well. Yeah, that is why I was not getting any more units into the fight, and I realized it too late. So yeah, I think if I fixed my rally points during the fight and continued pushing with decent micromanagement, I think it was pushable maybe here. He didn't even have any totems here in the front line, but unfortunately now he already has decent army. And I was really afraid of fighting the Warlocks without my own Void Walkers, so here I decided to rather go for a macro approach, make 2 new bases, and just stay more defensive, while of course still controlling this point, so he doesn't expand here again, but of course he just kinda ignored that and started expanding on the other side of the map. So yeah, definitely it was a good fight for us, but unfortunately we didn't utilize it too much. Of course 2 new bases are good. The thing is that he's also expanding really quickly. And since its expansions are 20 seconds faster, it's kinda hard to keep up with that. So right now, we should be definitely at least split pushing here. He has lots of totems, but I think it will be still pushable. Especially when we also utilize the Stalkers, and we should also start getting some Avengers soon. We are also running out of gold in our main base. He already did actually. So of course the amount of bases we are actually gathering from is getting higher by the bases we capture, but also lower by the bases that we already gathered from all the resources. Yeah, so it's kind of staying even. Now I'm moving my harvesters to this base, which is only gold, so that's totally fine. And then we just need to set the last base down here. Of course, all bases at least 2 towers here. I'm also making some vengeance halls finally. Staying on some resources, but population still in our favor by 9. Also we have full population available. Yeah, he's really overgathering here, probably like 20 minions. Here he found my Seeker. Or I mean, I just burrowed here and immediately died to the totems. But I tried to spread some Stalkers now, I believe, around the map. No, Stalkers, sorry, Seekers. And here he's going for another base that we will see, but hard to stop, it's really far away. And now he's starting to do some harassment. Yeah, so he's bringing one strider here to clear this, flying around with Manticore Riders, scouting everything, and now he's bringing 5 warriors for full HP, 103 HP. And he's going for this base. I just started upgrading these towers, so they are not hitting back, but I have the reformer here to scout these striders, so I decided to cancel these upgrades and that way deal with this. It was almost finished, so I think I could have probably waited. It would be better against the warriors, but it wouldn't hold it anyways, so here I think I will actually take some of my units. You can already see me selecting some of them here, and I will be bringing them to stop this. Fortunately, he doesn't have ground attacks on Manticore Riders. He probably didn't even make Manticore Lair. So that's good, but yeah, now we got actually Berserkers. He already killed all the Harvesters here. I have to utilize the Reformer to even scout him. So not easy, but I think we should be able to hold this. At the same time, we are finally getting some Void Walkers, as you can see, 5 Awakenings here at once. I believe, yeah, here we have the Hollow Whispers, so getting Anti-Magic to dispel Poison Fox, and then also Freeze to potentially gain some crowd control advantage. Setting up 2 new towers immediately. Once again, we ran out of gold in our first expansion, which he actually didn't yet, but he will in a second. But he's getting another base here, yeah, so overall he already has more bases. Yeah, now he will have 4 fully working bases, and I will have only 3. So once he can finish this and saturate it, it will be a huge advantage for him. He's now grouping up on this side. I don't think I have any scouts here, but of course I should be able to prepare for that. He sees my villagers coming here. I don't think he will fly into this. He's already expecting the towers there, I guess. But yeah, I probably saw him with something. Maybe I actually had one of his units. Yeah, I have infested here. I've infested one of his Goblin Riders, so I saw his army. So his army movement. And now he kinda went into a trap. I can surround him from 2 sides, so this is looking really good. The question is if we can actually capitalize on this advantage. Of course, we are bringing our Stalkers, trying to force away his air. Maybe cast some Defiles. Here I had few Spitters, but I mean he can kill them, but it will slow him down even more. Here we are bringing the units, raising some Skeletons even. And here I'm bringing small army from the other side as well, so he cannot really escape through here. Of course, defiling him again, trying to walk away from my own defiles, of course. And as you can see, we got lots of kills here. So this was really good. Unfortunately, as you can see, the population is staying basically the same for him because he has so many production buildings and he's using all of them at once. So I kinda allowed him now to transfer to any army composition that he wants. He will probably kinda keep the same composition, but he can get more advanced units. And not just so many Goblin Riders, so this might actually help him a little bit. But of course, yeah, he stayed on the same population, but now he has way less resources. So I have a huge advantage now in this. Unfortunately, he has more bases, so now I would need to kinda harass these bases, stop them idly, and at the same time start expanding more on this side, because this corner is still kinda empty. I have only 1/4 of the map, and he has basically half of it without this expansion, yeah, but outside of that basically everything. As you can see, also now started placing down Guardian runes around the map, which is ultra annoying against Fallen as Beast, because it constantly scouts all Seekers. This unit is invisible and also detects invisible units, so it's really strong. And basically if you try to get Seekers somewhere on the map, they will immediately die to this. Same of course would be like with the flowers, I mean Eyes of the Forest from Dryads as Empire. But yeah, so this is a little bit of a problem. Also, he will always know where I am. It's a huge vision boost for him. And it's also kind of hard to stop the Warlocks that are placing them down because they are also invisible, so really difficult to deal with this. He also has huge air army of Harpies and Manticore Riders, kind of struggling to heal them. But definitely also it's providing him lots of vision here. I could be also flying around with the Stalkers, that's true. But yeah, he immediately found my bases. I think he still didn't get the attacks on the ground for the Manticore Riders. He will just bring some ground units to deal with this. I have some Skeletons here, but that most likely won't be enough to deal with it. Actually, he has the attacks, okay. He has the attacks on the ground. Here I decided to do a push, but yeah, once again. We are walking there, he saw us with the Guardian runes, and now he has the Warlocks here all around this area, and he's immediately poison fogging me. And yeah, I have anti-magic, so I can really quickly dispel the poison fog, but it still deals some damage to your units before you actually cast the anti-magic. So slowly like this, he's just pulling back, so I can't really fight his army. And he's just constantly poison fogging me, bringing the HP of my whole army down slowly. And as you can see, yeah, I'm casting the anti-magics there, but actually now I didn't cast it for some reason, yeah, but overall I was casting it here, but overall the HP of the army was still going really slowly down. So now if we would fight, I have a huge disadvantage, so I can't really afford that, and I will have to retreat home to actually heal myself first. So now we kinda push the attack of mine away. I am kinda getting the bases here, but I have no protection there. I think it was another mistake. I think he killed the summoner here with the manticores, and now I wasn't able to build my towers. So I think I should have started maybe with a deformer in 2 towers and then place down the expansions, or just immediately bring more summoners there. But now he will just bring some berserkers and stop the expansion. I'm not even on the unholy ground now, so just wasting time here. As you can see, 5 berserkers coming. He has also 3 and 2 upgrades. Probably better than me. I have 2 and 3, okay, so it's actually balanced. But I have no upgrades for Avengers, so that's a bit of a problem. And he's taking another base while stopping mine, and I have these bases, but they are not even gathering yet, so that's not too good. And he has some goblins hidden here, so he can stop that as well. Maybe he has even vision on the base, not sure. One skeleton scouting here, that's good, but of course immediately dying. We finally started slowly healing. I made some more vengeance holes here, so we can produce more Avengers. Avengers are just the kinda the only unit that can somehow deal with the poison fog harassment of my army, let's say. But since they are no longer magic immune as they were originally, they are still getting slowed heavily and also taking some damage, so it's not that good anymore. Of course, if you could just immune the slow, that would be really strong. Then I would just go full Avengers, but now it's still kinda hard. But would be probably still better to get more Avengers and less spitters for my army here. The problem is that I really don't have the upgrades. I'm trying to catch up on them, yeah. We already have 1 for armor now, but still kinda hard. And now he decided to push me here. I knew that he has the... Yeah, this was actually good. I focus targeted the Warlocks with my chain towers, so I killed all of them here. But I was kinda expecting that he has more of them around the map, so I didn't really want to return, once again go through like 5 different poison fogs, and then eventually maybe even lose the fight. So instead I decided to do some base trading. Unfortunately this base is totally worthless, and yeah, so he's not gathering here anymore. Wasn't really making too much sense to go for this. Fortunately here he kinda flew into me. He killed some stalkers, but he also killed his units, and now I froze him, so this was actually a good trade for me, I think. I'm trying to use my Avengers here. I deal with the towers, yeah, hitting myself as well a little bit, but doesn't really matter. I think now I should have probably went for the bases here. We should have skipped this, that was totally useless. And now I will go for the main base. And of course he has lots of infrastructure here that we want to stop. So you can see he's even getting the Rain of Fire, and you can have only 1 Mouth of Hell at once. So if we kill this, he will have to build new one after that. But the problem is that he already has a huge new infrastructure in this base as well, and here he is also gathering. So I think it would be smarter to just skip everything here and go for the right side of the map. Stop it all there, add some guards there so we cannot re-expand, and then of course try to deal with his army. Right now we are just destroying the infrastructure that he already has on the other side of the map anyways. I have a huge resource advantage right now, but we are slowly using it. I was also trying to expand here, but we are slowly losing it. Now he's retaking these bases from me, and even though I have probably stronger army, we are both on full population. Yeah, he has a little bit more, but I mean, I'm really injured, so I'm not sure if he would win it, but I still think we should win a fight. He doesn't have the Rain of Fire if we destroy this, so yeah. The problem is that he's just taking the whole map, yeah, so definitely this is of course how it's gonna go really bad for us. I think I'm already kinda learning how to expand during the game to keep up with the enemy macro. As you can see, we have even more resources now. But the thing that I'm still struggling with a lot is definitely this decision making towards the end of the game, where to actually attack with your army. Then of course some split pushing like multiple different bases with few units. So yeah, this is definitely something I have to work on. In terms of fighting, of course, with one army. It's looking good, but yeah, here I actually made the base. I even had the towers there already, but he just came with like 6 Warlocks and spawned like 10 or 20 Guardian runes here, and it's of course insane damage, poison damage as well, which is usually actually weaker against these buildings. Okay, not sure about the towers. Yeah, also a little bit weaker, but there's of course so much damage when there is so many of them that he just one-shotted all the towers. Also killed any harvesters if I had any of them here. And he also had the air units, so I brought my stalkers. He confused one, we can maybe dispel that with anti-magic. Here I made a reformer, 3 new hives, trying to get some production buildings, because I knew I had the resources still. Remaking the whole economy wouldn't really work for me. I don't have any map control anyways, and any harvesters to use. Even though here I'm still gathering slowly at least. A level 4 berserker here, insane. But yeah, of course, I still had some resources, so I wanted to utilize them. Unfortunately, he destroyed my main base, which is always bad because you usually lose population with that. At least as Empire and Fallen. You can of course escape with the control forms by transforming them into summoners and then transforming them back somewhere else. But that's usually not happening. With farms you can't even escape. Of course with Borons it's a little bit easier. Especially when you usually bring them with your army. But yeah, now we need to definitely get some new summoners to get new control forms and population. I'm trying to finish some last units here that are destroying me, but at the same time he's already pushing on this expansion again. Another push here. He retried some Borons, but I had fortunately some Avenger production here, so that was good. Trying to move my summoners away. His base is totally useless, even though we still at least have some buildings here that could be utilized. Trying to get some upgrades at least, because I have the resources and I don't have population, so if I have the buildings for upgrades I will definitely get them. To at least increase the strength of our army a little bit. Here of course 2 Avengers have no chance against so many units. Here he just kinda kills all of my harvesters. And yeah, now we definitely need to take these bases back, ideally get some resources from them, but yeah, even though I had the resource advantage, he now already catched up on gold pretty quickly. We have similar population, but he has double the amount of gold. I have double more gems, 3 times more wood, but not really a way of utilizing this without the population. Now we actually gained some population, but now I don't have the infrastructure anymore. So I don't really have anywhere to produce, maybe here, but I'm trying to retake some bases, but it's just kinda desperate moves to get just few more units for our army. But overall, of course, the advantage that he's getting from all the bases he has is huge. He has some problems with wood now. As you can see, it's not even gathering here for some reason. But he started gathering in this base actually, so I think he will fix that problem really quickly. You actually take decent damage with Avengers from totems, so this is not ideal, but it's still the best way of dealing with this. You can also bind it with Stalkers, of course, but yeah, here I wasn't really focus firing the totem down. But I was focusing on hopefully creating some new infrastructure. He's going basically full on Berserkers, which is a really good answer to Avengers. Not the best against Spitters, I guess, but if he can combine it with Poison Fox and everything, I think he will be totally fine. One more base here, nicely hidden tower, but he can still reach it with at least like 3 or 4 Berserkers, so he will be able to destroy it quite quickly. Plus he had trolls. Trying to retake these bases immediately. Pushing for another expansion. Here I think I already decided to start using the defiles, so we don't lose any more HP. But of course now we are falling behind. Yeah, we have 50 population less. Almost no resources. He catched up on the gems as well. Well, he still has so much gold. Still struggling with wood, kinda funny. But of course he needs to remake all of his Borons, which are really expensive. Once again, Poison Fog, trying to dispel it. But HP is getting low and we don't have any more unholy ground anywhere near this location. So we just have to continue pushing without any heals. This is a small disadvantage. Of course you have nice healing that you can utilize really early on in the game. Sorry for that sound of Discord. So yeah, that's of course really good. But if it comes to the late game or like fighting, I think it's actually kinda bad for Fallen, because you don't really have like priests that you would bring with you. It's true that Beast also doesn't have any healing, let's say, but you can still get like the upgrade or buff in the Stronghold that basically heals all of your units and increases their attack speed. The War Cry, or how it's called, so that's really good. It's not the fastest healing, but it's at least something, and you can also, of course, always bring some Barons for sacrifice, or you can even sacrifice other units. So that's some healing, of course, that you can utilize in the fight. As Fallen, I don't really think you have any healing that you could actually use in a fight. Or I actually at least can't think of any. You can get self-infest with Seekers, and then your units are actually healing slowly. I think it's like a leech that you are healing with each attack. But you can't infest all units, for example. Avengers, even though now they are not immune to magic anymore, you still can't self-infest them, I think, so it would only work for like the Spitters. So as you can see, Poison Fox everywhere, anti-magic everywhere, but my army just kinda dissolved slowly, and now I'm on half population. He got me from two sides, he still has more resources, more production, and even though I have maybe even more bases than him, they are not really working, as we can check, yeah. No harvesters anywhere. So I just kinda went for the last push all in here, and as you can see, this will be my end. So yeah, we call it GG. We can check the results. The game lasted 43 minutes. In terms of units, as you can see, we killed almost double. With positive kill-loss ratio, but he also produced more than double of our units, so yeah, that was the main problem. He also had the largest army. We got more experience by 5,000, of course, way more kills. I don't know if we already had level 5 on Avengers, but maybe. Buildings constructed kinda balanced, destroyed, lost, yeah, everything pretty much the same. He had a little bit more researches, but yeah, the researches is the biggest problem. He had 50% more resources. In terms of gold at least, he also had more wood, even though that wasn't a problem for us. Beast is really heavy on wood actually, as we saw in the last few games I showed you. And in gems, he also actually had more here and spent more as well. So yeah, pretty nice game I think. Definitely some high tier gameplay there from Suvak as Beast. Really actually happy to see that. Of course I lost, but I actually like to see that someone's finally started utilizing all the tools that are available for this race, so that's nice to see. And yeah, we'll see what will the future games bring, of course. So yeah, thanks for watching and take care, guys.